I train spinal flexion, which means the ability of my spine to round, but I think of this as a smooth scale from elevated and assisted to comfortably handling the weight of your upper body to loading. And the ATG standard is a mere 25% of body weight, wrists below toes, without the knees bending. So that's a baseline amount of flexibility I like to have through the spine and the posterior. At the same time, I work on the ability of my spine to resist rounding. And with an incline bench, you can train your strength and your mobility in harmony. Most people can't go right to a flat bench because the inner thighs get unnaturally tight in cultures where we stop resting in deep squats. So the context really matters, and my goal is to help people feel mobile and protected when the back is rounded while having exceptional ability to resist rounding. I would even add extension above the lower back to this list, which also has tremendous scalability. And I would add flexibility on the other side of the lower back. A stairwell works great for the ATG split squat progression, and I think gyms should get mobility stations for it. And just like that, we've done 4 things we're commonly told not to do. We're commonly told no rounding of the spine. We're also told don't go overhead, and we're told don't let your knee over your toe and don't bend below 90 degrees. I would argue those are 4 of the things we need the most. Freedom has its problems, comes with responsibility, but you put so many restrictions, all of a sudden life is worse than it was when you had freedom. The answer is freedom with responsibility. So we learned those responsibilities in this video. We learned that assisted takes the pressure off of even rounding your back. That's a natural human motion, to bend down and pick something up. So I'm not saying how heavy you have to go with it, but if you want to be a little less scared, let's look at the most successful American Olympic weightlifter ever, Tommy Kono. He would intentionally do deadlifts with about a $135. He called them loosening deadlifts, trying to use the weight to stretch out, to balance out all the work, trying not to round. So I'm not even saying you have to go to a $135, but the point is, you don't just magically break, and I think it's a lot riskier to be brittle when you do round. So the context matters. Having goals that work for you matter. And we have responsibility with the knee over the toe to realize that is also pressure. But if we want more protected knees, that's an ability we need. Full range of motion, knees over toes, bending below 90 degrees. And by going one side at a time, knowing how to assist yourself, you have elevation and a scale from assisted to loaded. Now you have really powerful tools to help people get out of the muck zone when they're super fragile. I was Mr. Muck, told my left knee would never even fully bend again. So I had to figure out these really responsible routes of progression. And then the seated good morning incline bench. I don't think there's a safer way to get a more bulletproof lower back in terms of putting protection, because that thing stops you short. So with that ATG split squat and ATG style seated good morning, you have these perfect blends of strength and flexibility at the exact same time. And again, with the pullover, the incline bench makes it so easy to progress. But with any of these things, you could just start really light, recover, gradually build up. If you want any help through these, I've been coaching people through them before you ever saw me on social media from my gym before COVID. Then maybe you saw me continuing these exercises from my yard. We've got the lowest price to actually take the time to watch your form and answer you under 24 hours, 7 days a week, but there's no long-term contract. So whatever your finances are, you can go in, get what you need out of it. So I hope this video gives you the tools to address these areas that we want freedom, but that we need some responsibility. So that's all I got for this video. I tried to keep it short, but still give you the full knowledge that I have on these subjects.